Ladies, gentlemen, and others, welcome back to Boz Comics. First and foremost, before anything else, thank you so much for the wonderful boost on the last video. Gained a handful of new subscribers. It got way more views than my little channel had any right to expect, so I'm very grateful. I'm going to give this plug at the beginning of the video, change things up a bit. If you like what I do here, please consider leaving a like, a comment. Please consider subscribing. I don't know. I think it's worth your time, but I'm probably a little bit biased. Anyway, today we're taking a look at Amazing Spider-Man number 50. Oh boy. So, Kindred. Oh boy. So in the last video, in yesterday's video where I was speculating about Kindred's identity, I had a whole bunch of theories about, who he might be. I threw out some ones that I thought were the most interesting, and I threw out some ones that I thought were the most likely. And what did I say? I said that Harry Osborn is the obvious solution, the most obvious answer to the mystery. It is the most obvious. It is the safest. Consequently, it is the most boring. And I think also poorly set up, because nobody gives a shit about Harry Osborn. He hasn't been an essential character in a really long time. Who has a deep emotional attachment to Harry Osborn? Please don't let it be Harry Osborn. Well, now I've read issue 50 and I have some thoughts. But so the first complaint right out of the gate, this issue is told non-linearly, and I really feel like it doesn't need to be. There's a couple of things going on at once. There is the events immediately following ASM number 49, with Spider-Man and the Order of the Web escaping Ravencroft using the watercrafts. What happened immediately following that? Fucking Spider-Man acting like an absolute Chad and yeeting Norman Osborn out to fend for himself before Osborn is accosted by the Sin Eater. So we get the aftermath of all that. We also get the flash forward story. It's only a couple, like maybe an hour afterwards, with Spider-Man going to Doctor Strange for help. Then while that's going on, we have a bit with Kindred, because at the end of ASM 49, he was standing in front of a grave. We couldn't see whose grave it was. Oh my God. So I'm going to just kind of try to put this in order. So immediately after escaping in the submersible craft and giving Osborn the old yeet, Spider-Man and the Order of the Web are accosted by this strange fucking entity. It's like an energy based, or like a wispy spiritual type of like symbiote looking fucking thing. It is a creature. It is all tendrils and energy and awfulness. It's like amber red kind of thing, and it fucking it possesses members of the Order of the Web and sends them after Spider-Man, I guess. It is what I'm picking up here, right? And Spider-Man gets the absolute shit kicked out of him, goes off to try to find help from Doctor Strange, because he's being chased by a malevolent, possibly spiritual entity. Doctor Strange gives him like some healing potions and shit, and has an interesting line where he references, it felt like out of place. So Peter says, like, I tell Doc, he's like Peter's internal monologue. He says, I tell Doctor Strange everything. Well, almost everything. We don't actually see that conversation. Now, it seems like he's talking about all the shit that like went down, but then, in the last issue. But then Doc has this weird line where he says, you made a deal with a demonic entity. You didn't think there would be consequences? Did Pete tell him about the deal with Mephisto? Is that what that's in reference to? If that is what that's in reference to, why would Pete bring it up? Why would he feel compelled in the face of everything that just happened to tell Doctor Strange about that? I feel, I don't know, maybe I was having a dumb moment. I was really confused about that. how did that happen? Does Peter, like, why would Peter connect this entity coming after him to the deal with Mephisto, if that is in fact what he's referencing? Honestly, the books have been so fucking vague for this entire time about whether or not Peter even remembers the deal he made. Which, if he remembers the deal he made, why the fuck? It's so weird. It's so weird. I'm so confused. But that's cool, because that means that one more day is a thing that is going to be addressed, if that's in fact what it was in reference to. So that makes me happy. But and then fucking after Strange helps Spidey recuperate, they're accosted by this fucking creature. It looks like they're possessing Silk, or it's unclear if they're possessing Silk or if they've possessed multiples of these fucking spider people and then like combined them into this weird amalgam. I wasn't quite sure what we were looking at. Oh no, it wasn't Silk. It was Spider Woman. I don't know. These fucking spider people. One of them is fucking possessed, or all of them were possessed and amalgamized, and they come after Strange and Spider-Man in the Sanctum Sanctorum. That's chronologically, that's like more or less like the ending of the fucking issue. We'll get to the true end in a moment here. So wow, that's the end of Spidey's story in this issue, though. Gets beat up after the events of the last issue, goes to Doctor Strange for help, gets recuperated, but then they are attacked. Fun. So while all this is going on, of course, Sin Eater is, accosting Norman Osborn. Norman Osborn was given the yeet by Spider-Man, and Sin Eater walks up to him. They start kind of shit talking one another, and Norman kind of tries to plead with Sin Eater to not give him the fucking shotgun treatment, and Sin Eater's having exactly none of that. But during their conversation, Osborn says to Sin Eater, like, yeah, I know you're working for Kindred. I know all about that boy. He says that specifically. I know all about that boy. He's not really a demon, He basically says that all the Hellspawn stuff is bullshit, like implying that it's like smoke and mirrors or whatever, which is a theory that a lot of people have had. But as soon as he starts talking about, I know that boy, I was like, oh shit, it's Harry. Oh God, I really didn't want it to be Harry. That's so boring. But, Sin Eater fucking shoots him. Sin Eater shoots Norman, supposedly cleansing him of his fucking sins, absorbing, his sins onto himself, and then goes to find Kindred. And he's like, Kindred, I did everything you asked. Kindred pops up, talks some shit to Sin Eater, goes, haha, I've been manipulating you all along, get fucked, and kills Sin Eater again. When he kills Sin Eater, all the sins that Sin Eater absorbed, all the evil and malevolence that Sin Eater's been absorbing all through the Sins Rising story arc, kind of coalesces into that fucking being that we saw earlier that attacked Spidey in the Order of the Web. So that's where that came from. It's all the sins that Stan Carter collected, coalesced into a single being, now out to wreak havoc. Okay. Fuck. It was a cool segment. We didn't really learn a lot more about Kindred, but like, fucking whatever. So then we see that what Kindred had like dug up, the other thing that's happening is what Kindred, the body that Kindred had dug up, right? Because we see Kindred fucking in front of these graves at the end of the last issue. We're like, what the fuck is that about? Whose grave is it? Because we're not told. Turns out to be George Stacy, Gwen Stacy's dad, who died heroically many, many decades ago, before his daughter did, in fact, a couple of years before. He digs up George Stacy's body. And that reveal, as I recall, takes place after the conversation between Norman and the Sin Eater. So I was second guessing myself. I was like, oh shit, maybe it's not Harry after all. Maybe it's a fucking fake out. And I was like, damn, here we go. They're taking up George Stacy's body. Maybe it's Gwen after all. Fuck, I really hope so, because as I've said, I would find that really interesting. But then as Kindred's like individual little plotline continues, towards the end of the book, he's in like a house site. If they tell us where he is, I missed it. I was so annoyed kind of reading this issue. So I might have missed a couple of details. Feel free to correct me. But Kindred is in like some kind of hideaway, some kind of place that he's set up. And he's monologuing, as he is wont to do, about how Spider-Man, oh, this is, you're going to be so surprised. There. By the way, there's this funny little bit in the very beginning of the issue where Kindred almost speaks directly to the audience. I feel like it's Nick Spencer being cheeky, and he's like, "I know you've been waiting for a really long time. You're probably really annoyed by all this, and you want answers, and you want to know what's going on. I would be too. I totally understand." So it was a bit of cheeky fourth wall breaking. Spencer's really good at that. But so Kindred's in his little secluded hideaway, and he sets up George Stacy's body. And then we see that he also has, presumably, Gwen Stacy's body dug up as well, because it's blondes with a headband. So it's like, oh shit, he's dug up George, he's dug up Gwen, he's dug up the Stacys. Fucking why? And then again, that was like, okay, so does that mean that it can't be Gwen? But then why would it be Harry? Why would Harry specifically dig up Gwen and George Stacy? That's so weird. Like, yeah, fucking Harry was friends with Gwen right along with Peter and whatnot. But would was he super attached to Gwen? I don't remember that ever being a thing. I don't think Gwen and Harry ever had like a serious like romance thing. There was never like a love triangle thing going on with them that I recall. Maybe I'm wrong. And George Stacy? Why would Harry have any fucking particular attachment to George Stacy? Did he ever even get to meet George Stacy? Like the whole time that shit was going on, like I don't fucking know. Wasn't Harry like all strung up on drugs back in the day when most of the Stacy drama was happening? All right. So very end of the issue, Norman has been cleansed of his sins by the Sin Eater, and he fucking wakes up, and Ashley Kafka is there. And he is like appealing to Kafka. He's like, oh my God, I feel so terrible for all the Green Goblin nonsense I've done. I've done horrible things. Kafka's like, yeah, you're a bit of a fuck, ain't you, Norman? And Norman's like, yeah, I know. But listen, Kindred, you got to help me find Kindred. And Kafka's like, why are you so attached to Kindred? Why do you care what happens to him? You know, it sounds like a job for the police. He says, yeah, we can't let the police handle it, because if the police handle it, you know, and Kafka is like, why do you care? And Norman says, because he's my son. And then we cut to this shot of Kindred looking into a mirror, and reflected back in the mirror at him is Harry Osborn. Which, if that is truly meant to imply that Norman is right and Harry is Kindred, what a lame fucking reveal. For reasons I really outlined in the earlier video. I don't feel the need to retread them super hard. But that to me is so fucking stupid. I'm so annoyed. I don't really think anyone's going to be super fucking knocked on their ass by this reveal. Nobody's going to be like, oh, this is so exciting. Kindred is Harry Osborn. I'm so disappointed. Unless this is a giant misdirect. There are a couple of things that made me think that might be what's going on, because it was so obvious, and people have known it was obvious for a long time. There's people have been saying, like, since Kindred first appeared, and we kind of got the idea that, oh, it's somebody from Spider-Man's past now plotting against him. People have been saying like, oh shit, so it's Harry Osborn, and they had to have known that over at Marvel. They had to have seen that coming. So I find it weird that they would just lean into that and be like, yep, it's exactly what you thought it was. I just can't accept that they would knowingly partake in such a subpar mystery. I really think that it has to be a fake out, or at least I really want it to be a fake out, because fuck this reveal. This is so terrible. I just think there's no way they went with something so obvious. And the way they drop it, the way it just kind of comes out there, like I feel like it has to be a fake out. It has to be. There's no way. There's no way. There's got to be a reveal where it's like, haha, Norman, you thought you were the smartest person in the room, but you were a fucking idiot all along. You're so full of arrogance and hubris, you couldn't see what was right in front of you. It's just, if it's Harry, why do I care? Why do I fucking care? All this speculation, all this time? Why is Harry, of all people, why is he so fucking mad? What is going on? Why is this happening? I do have faith in Nick Spencer as a writer overall. So even though I'm really disappointed with this reveal, I believe it is very possible that Spencer can turn it around and make it into something that I can get behind. Like tell me a story, Nick. Like, make me understand, make me care. Your battle's gonna be uphill because you're gonna have to make me like retroactively care about a character that hasn't been prominently featured in the books in forever. Barely been mentioned in this run at all thus far. But you're gonna have to get me to go back and fucking care about this dude so that I will then be like, oh shit, it's so terrible that he's Kindred now. Oh no. We've done all this. We've done supervillain Harry before. It's called Green Goblin 2. God fucking damn it. Why? Why are we doing this? I really hope it's a fake out. I feel like it's a fake out because I even say in the letters page, like, there's some twists coming. It's going to be a fake out. I hope to hell it's going to be a fake out. We'll have to see what happens. But I do want to know, like, in the comments down below. I've got like nothing else to say about this issue. I've made it quite clear on this channel. I don't really care nearly as much about art. I know it's weird. I'm much more into this for the story. The art is fine. There were a couple of really interesting panels. Done. Next. I don't really care. Final verdict. I don't like the possible reveal of Kindred being Harry, but I saw it coming a mile away, which is part of why I hate it. It's cool that we're going to see Spidey and Doc Strange kind of teaming up. That's always fun. I had a couple issues as a kid where those two were interacting, and it was cool. I like seeing them together. I hope that if Kindred is Harry, that they can make it cool and fun and something I care about. And I really hope that we are getting some. This has to be involved. Kindred has to be intricately tied to One More Day, whether it's Harry or not. I feel like that's maybe what we're gearing up to. Kindred is heavily tied to Mephisto and the events of One More Day. If that's not the case, I'll be disappointed all over again. We'll have to see what happens, but them's the breaks thus far. Ladies, gentlemen, and others, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of the Kindred reveal, ? Let me know what you hope happens going forward. Let me know if you like Harry as Kindred. Tell me why. Like, make me care about Harry. Help me understand. All right. This review's a bit all over the place, but I'm just really frustrated. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.